Liverpool, just over the border in England, is a gritty but surprisingly enjoyable city. It offers a fascinating urban contrast to the natural splendors of Wales. It's an interesting stop both for Beatles fans and for those who'd like to look urban Britain straight in the eyes. The city, once run down and pretty grim, is enjoying a renaissance. Albert Dock is the centerpiece. Opened in 1846 by Prince Albert, Queen Victoria's husband, the docks enclose 7 acres of water. It's surrounded by a 5-story tall brick warehouse, now housing fine restaurants, concert venues, a convention center, and fancy condos. In its day, Liverpool was England's greatest seaport. It prospered as one corner of the triangular commerce of the 18th century slave trade. The Merseyside Maritime Museum tells the story of the port of what was the second city of the British Empire. After the shipping of slaves was outlawed in Britain in the early 1800s, Liverpool kept its port busy as a transfer point for emigrants. Whether your ancestors came from Scandinavia, Ukraine, Ireland, or Wales, there's a good chance they left Europe from this port. Between 1830 and 1930, 9 million emigrants sailed from Liverpool to find their dreams in the New World. Most went to the USA. Awe-inspiring steamers like the Lusitania called this port home. Many of us know Liverpool as the springboard for the band that changed the world back in the 1960s, the Beatles. The Beatles Story is a museum about the band that made rock and roll a worldwide phenomenon. Many people visit Liverpool just to remember John, Paul, George, and Ringo.
Okay folks, on the right hand side is the McCartney house. John and Paul wrote some of their first hits here in this house.
For a proper Beatle pilgrimage, you need to take a Beatles tour. Several companies run tours daily, from slick big buses to more personal minibus tours. Guides are fountains of Beatle trivia, giving you the entire rundown on every site in town associated with the group and its music.
And it was in these poorer parts of Liverpool that the Beatles were born and grew up. And in fact, Ringo Starr, living in Admiral Grove on the right, we're even going past the pub where his mother had to work to pay for the rent. This is the neighbourhood known to the people of Liverpool as Penny Lane. And Paul McCartney and all the Beatles would be coming here as young boys. Now this is the shelter in the middle of the roundabout. And Paul sings about, behind the shelter in the middle of the roundabout, there's a pretty nurse selling poppies from a tray. Then you've got the bank on the corner with the arrogant bank manager. And Paul McCartney sings, on the corner there's a banker with a motor car. The little children laugh behind his back. Further down the road is the fire station with the clean machine. On the corner there's a barber showing photographs of all the heads he's had the pleasure to have known. All the people stop and say hello. You got all these things that you see throughout the year that Paul McCartney describes the song taking place still to this day.